Good afternoon, Cindy. Hope this email finds you well. This is just a brief demonstration of our sustainable stock exchange platform that teaches children financial literacy at an early age um, on the global stock market and the Caribbean stock exchanges. Now, we're just sending this over in advance before the meeting on Tuesday so that we could spend some of the time to really dig into how we could align. So we're just sending over a brief demo to explain how the product works. So of course, each of our students, once a user registers on the platform, we'll have our AI on the right hand corner that will educate the students now about how to maneuver the platform, how to understand the jargons, etc. It's like their personal tutor. So if I select Mr. Bunny and click play, the AI now will educate the students now about the various functionality.
Hello children, my name is Mr. Rabbit, and I will be continuing where Isabella left off. We're excited to have you join us on this exciting journey to learn about the stock market and investing. On your dashboard you should see 1. The top 6 most frequent stocks amongst all students. 2. Top 6 students for peer-to-peer learning, and you can view their profile to see which stocks they invest in to emulate their portfolio, beating them at their own game. 3. The top profitable closed stocks by a given player, and lastly your school competition, where you can buy and sell stocks. Today, let's move over to the stock market tab.
So according to Mr. Rabbit, he said we should move over to the stock market tab, which is here. But let's dig in a little further. So the algorithm will aggregate the most frequent stocks here amongst all the players, and this will show us the top players based on most profitable trades. So if I click on this player, which is Aiden Simon, for an example, of course you will see that up to 37 seconds ago the student liquidated his portfolio, will liquidate this transaction. We could go to another player, which is Josiah Sutherland, to see when he was, okay, so this is 3 days ago. This player had been active in the program. This player was 22 minutes ago, based on the number of trades, profitable trades, unprofitable trades, and the list goes on. But the key here is not just how often they trade, but what they do learn. So what we've done is to incorporate ESG in our entire application so that students could have a better idea as to the companies around the world and the different ESG initiatives that they have going on. What makes our platform different from everyone else is that we've integrated the other stock exchange in the Caribbean, in Latin America, to educate our children about the companies on the Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad stock exchanges. So this is the literature model. As you can see, the data is static because we're still building out that part. But let's say we want to understand more about the ESG element on the global scale, the various companies that compliant with ESG. We could visit on the dashboard. The students will now go to their portal, and in this example we could type Goldman Sachs, right? Yeah, GS. Then GS stock price is 327, and of course we could simply click ESG strategy to see if there is a, okay, so there's none right now, meaning there's no ESG rating from what I'm seeing here. But let's use Starbucks as an example. Let's click Starbucks. Let's click ESG strategy. Okay, that now will show up based on the data we're getting from our provider. Lastly, let's use Bank of Nova Scotia. Use another bank. Or let's use Bank of America and see. Okay, well, there is for Bank of America, that's 67.13. And what does this mean for the student who is using the program? Mr. Bunny will explain now to the students, teachers, and parents how to use this in their portfolio.
Hello, children. My name is Mr. Rabbit, and welcome to our exciting journey into the world of ESG investing and making a positive impact. Today, we're going to learn about a special concept called ESG, environmental, social, and governance. The pie chart to the left. Let's start with the ESG, which stands for the environment. It's all about how companies treat our planet, like the earth we live on. Some companies help protect the environment by reducing pollution, conserving resources, and using clean energy. Isn't that amazing? Now, let's move on to the S in ESG, which stands for social. This is about how companies treat people like their employees, customers, and communities. Companies with good social practices care about fair treatment, diversity, and giving back to the community. Lastly, we have the G in ESG, which stands for governance. It's about how companies are managed and make decisions. Good governance means having fair rules, transparency, and responsible leadership. When companies have strong governance, it helps build trust and integrity. Now, imagine you have some money to invest. By choosing companies that score high in ESG, you become an investor who cares about the environment, people, and good governance. You are making a positive impact and the world a better place. That's it for now.
That's how the students will be able to apply this in their business practice or in their portfolio. And we just wanted to cover this part in the demo, as well as measurement in the program, what we're able to gather, such as our engagement rate, our the active time users spend on the program. So we have an engagement rate of 75%, and the engagement time average user spend is 48 minutes. We also have the engagement by schools, so that could also be of value when we do meet. We could discuss. I think it's overview. Yeah, yeah, yes. So this will now go through the various um, overview screen. So this is the number one school, which is most active in the platform, which is 51 minutes. Then we have another school here, which is 44 minutes. Another one, which is an hour. So the Google Analytics break down this data where we could understand our users, the demographic, and the device and the technology that they currently use to participate in the program. So we would have thought that there's children, so they'll be on their desktop, but from the data, 66.8% of our students is on mobile, and majority of them is from Chrome. So we just like to provide this information to you ahead of time, so that when we do meet next week, we could just focus how we could align the initiative with the Goldman Sachs launch. There's other aspect of the program we like to touch on, like our social hub platform, integrated with Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, and Voice America, that give the students.
When I hear that psychological edge, is there something that like you have to have a foundation to now be psychologically ready to negotiate strategically and more effectively in your business?
So these three channels provide podcasts about the market, finance, stock tips, and entrepreneurial insights in the United States, so that it prepares our children for the real world. And then now, with our alliance with Goldman Sachs, we could better tweak or manage the platform and see how we could align ourselves. In addition to that, lastly, this is how the ranking is in the initiative, the real-time leaderboard that shows these students where they're at, where they rank in the portfolio based on points gained, etc., the top player in the game, all of that. And on the right hand side, Forbes, our partner, provide real-time content in the platform about the global markets and what stocks they could look at, etc., financial literacy content, etc. So we have that as well. The course and quizzes section, we have integrated the Caribbean stock exchanges as well as the sustainable stock exchange to give further education information about diversity, ESG, and once you come and click take course, of course these various stakeholders who is aligned with our initiatives such as sustainable stock exchange under the UN, we could now educate our children about the different.
Hi, I'm Vince Molinari, and welcome to SSE TV. SSE TV is a project of the United Nations Sustainable Stock Exchange Initiative, hosted by FinTech TV. I am thrilled to have Olga Cantillo with us today, who is the CEO of the Panama Stock Exchange. She is currently the Vice President of the Ibero-American Federation of Stock Exchanges. She is on the Executive Committee of the Central Securities Depository Association of the Americas, the Secretary of the Association of Capital Markets of the Americas. She has also been the chairperson at the United Nations Stock Exchange Initiative of how exchanges can embed sustainability into their groups. Wow, Olga, I couldn't think of a better person to start to have this conversation with, given that background, so many accomplishments, so much that you've achieved as it relates to exchanges, related work of sustainability. So couldn't be happy to welcome you today.
And the list goes on. So again, this is the framework in how the demo work, how the platform works, and we are looking forward to discuss further with you how we could have the initiative under Goldman Sachs. Thank you.